Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Create 2 Mechanism Sky Edition 2. I'm your host, 270. Thank you for joining me for the next episode of this wonderful adventure. We're slowly working our way towards Mechanism, as the mod pack describes, and because of that, I'm starting to think of ways that we can optimize. Create is great, and it has done us very well for the beginning chapters, but we are slowly running out of not only space but just speed, I guess, or efficiency. Create is not the fastest at some of these tasks that we need it to be faster at. So while we have not got to Mechanism yet, I've slowly started to upgrade the efficiency of our lines, and I've slowly started to just plan ahead for what kind of things that we're going to need going forward once we can convert most of this stuff to Mechanism. This week's chapter is, what are we on? We're on chapter 9. Look at that. So once we finish chapter 10, we will officially be in Mechanism era. So we only have 2 more chapters to go. And actually, it looks like in chapter 10, we start unlocking some of the Mechanism machines. That's exciting. But this chapter we're going to be in Industrial Foregoing once more. We're getting to the milking of the wither phase. This one's pretty fun. And I'm actually pretty glad that I kept our witherproof box intact. It's right behind this crazy machine. Because we're going to use that to put the wither in a stasis chamber and then milk wither gas from him. The reason I want to put him in the wither chamber is just in case, if for some reason the stasis chamber loses, if the stasis loses power, he can't escape and wreak havoc. He'll still be stuck inside the witherproof box. So yeah, like I said, I'm glad we kept that around. This chapter's not too bad, actually. We have most of what we need up here. I mean, not most of what we need, but we have a lot of what we need to do is just going to be creating a couple of machines. As you can see, I've already got a little bit of a head start. We're going to need one of these, and then 4 of these. So I'm going to finish creating those, and then once I get going making them, I'll bring you back in. But these are just EMC. We're already making this on another line. To combine these two, unfortunately, I think the recipe's broke. I'm not seeing where... Oh, here it is. Okay. I had to restart my game. It was being real wonky. Anywho, so what we need to do is just molten. We need to melt some copper and gold and then mix them together. We'll get rose gold and then we'll pour it over a cast. That's why I have the cast here. We'll pour it over a cast and we'll get ourselves an ingot. So that's pretty simple. So like I said, this does close us out with the Industrial Foregoing. I think we're going to need a lot of the materials later on, like the ether gas and the dissolution chamber. I think we're going to need those later on, so I'm glad we've got those going, and we're gonna modify them so that they can pump out more and more as we go. We're making quite a bit of latex now, so we should have plenty of plastic. Thanks to fire tick, it looks like everything's burning down. It's not. Everything's fine. It's fine over here. Oh yeah, we have 2,000 buckets of latex, so I think we're good here. Plus all this dry rubber is ready to go. Yeah, we're good. One thing I do believe, we're going to need a fair amount of the ether gas, and so I'm going to get going. Before I even start on this side, I'm going to get going on putting the wither in stasis so that we can start getting that ether gas right away. So let me go finish collecting the materials for that, and then we'll jump back in when it's time to show how this machine works. I finally made a toolbox, which is kind of ironic because we're about done with Mechanism. But so I'm gonna use the drills, but also the door I never made centered either. So I'm gonna put the door right here, and then oops. So we're gonna put the door right here. We're gonna replace these 2 blocks. And then in the center here, we're going to have the stasis chamber. The wither will be right above it. And then above his head will be the drills. So I need to drill out basically a star pattern. So 1, 2, 3, and then 2, 3. So yeah, it'll be this across right above his head. I will need to drill out for, or yeah, sorry, I need to drill out in order to add in the laser drills and the whatchamacallit, the fluid laser base. That thing, yeah. Let me get this all hooked up and we'll start drilling her out. Whoa, that's way quicker when you're at 256 RPM. That's nutso. Put those. Actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna do these two as well, and these two. I want to get some windows going on here. There we go. I love the toolbox. I don't know why I have not been using it since I forgot all about it till like literally this episode. That's pretty ridiculous. Oh wait. Oh crap. I should have made sure everything was there. Notice the opening, the whole opening is towards the center. Okay, that works, maybe. Okay, now notice the particles going into the center, the fluid laser base. That's exactly what we want. That's exactly what we want. So we don't have a lens in there yet. We'll get to that. And then we also still need to drill out a hole right here in the center for our stasis chamber. And then the wither will just be stuck right below this thing and it'll start milking them. Oh, and also to make these things faster and more efficient, we're gonna put some add-ons in each one. Oh, I was like, why is it not? There we go. Okay. What's directly below us? Nothing? Okay, perfect. So now we can put the stasis chamber. Yep, this bad boy will go right here. And we'll throw a gate underneath it. Oh, and we're stuck in the stasis. Yeah, you don't want to come in here. Oh boy, okay. And that's about it. So we can add upgrade cards here too. So I think, let's see, that's upgrade cards in that one. All of these take cards. So that's 4, 5, that's 6 pieces of equipment. So we want 6 of each of our upgrades. I'm gonna get those going. Not the range, but the speed and the efficiency and the other one. Okay, with each card, you can just shift, right click, and then just cycle through them, and it'll add the card in there. I think you can also do arrange, but I don't believe we need it. Yeah, he's going to be in that box, so we don't need a range card. He'll spawn right above it. And we could actually go ahead and spawn him in, but maybe not. Let's get the rest of this set up real quick. Okay, so apparently the fluid chamber does not like the add-on speed, only efficiency and processing. Oh, last thing. This guy is going to be generating some fluid, so we're going to want a fluid drawer. So lock it, we'll add it to our network, and then I also want to add an upgrade just so it holds quite a bit more. 128 buckets. Hopefully that's enough for this, what we got going on. All right, besides spawning in the wither, the last thing we need is the lens. The way this mod works is depending on which lens you put in the laser will be what kind of thing you get out of it. You can mine all sorts of, if we go to the uses. So if I use a white laser in these biomes, I can get nether quartz ore. So it's a good way of mining resources, and it's all biome specific. Like the lunar wasteland, I can get moon cheese apparently with that. I never looked at the items. Ooh, draconium. That's handy. Okay, we have our lens. Let's toss her in there. And let's spawn us a wither, huh? It's got me trapped in. Okay. Now he should get stuck in there indefinitely. We're making ether gas. For some reason. There we go. Okay. Now we lock it. Now we add it. And we're good. All right. Yay, we're making ether gas. It's not the fastest, but I think most of our recipes that we're going to be needing it, if we just go take a look. So I know this is part of this chapter, this ether gum. That requires 90 millibuckets. We already have quite a bit more than that. So yeah, we should be fine. That's a really cool item. The way it just changes shapes like that. I like it. Had my eye on making a reaction chamber. This is very useful for quite a few things. Fluix crystal very quickly. That's where I've used it in the past. But in this mod, there was a few other things. This could be very useful. This could be useful. Basically anywhere you use a mixer. Okay, this right here is kind of a big deal. This reaction chamber will allow us to speed up a fair amount of things that have been really just a thorn in the side. One of the big things is the nourished coke. This nourished coke we use for multiple things, one of which being over here to create the sealed mechanisms. They're used right here, and I'm always running low on them because this mixer where they get made is just kind of slow. Anytime you're relying on a mixer, it's just kind of slow. I probably should have doubled up a long time ago. It was one thing when I needed them there, but now that we're into Powa, in order to make the dielectric paste, this also requires nourished coke. So we have been way behind on the nourished coke for quite a while. The next big one is Fluix crystal. I've been using, just like before, a mixer to create them, and it works okay. But I've been needing more and more of them, especially for, ironically enough, to create the dense, or just any of the energy cells. All of these energy cells require quite a bit of fluix. And because the Fluix pearls require quite a bit. So you have to have Fluix crystals and the crushed up Fluix. So to get the Fluix, what I've been doing is using the mixer. And that's faster than doing it just by throwing it in water, but it's still pretty slow. The mixer's not the fastest thing, even running at 256 RPM. But now we have this guy, which will run a lot quicker. But we can do them 16 at a time and get 64. And just mix a little water in. So that will be amazing. So I'm going to set this up into our ME system with a few patterns connected to a pattern provider, and we should be able to speed up production of Fluix and the dielectric paste quite a bit. Well, sorry, the nourished coke, which will then get used for dielectric paste. Now, there's probably quite a few other recipes. Let's go look at what else we can do. I have a feeling we're going to be needing this pretty soon. We just started making these quantum infused dust. Oh, we can make charged Certus quite a bit quicker. That might actually be pretty nice too. Some of these we haven't got into yet, but I guarantee it will help us out. But just looking at stuff that we are already producing, like Skystone, I don't know that we need to produce this any faster, but we can now. Same with polished rose quartz. That, actually, well, I don't think we need to produce that faster. This will come in very handy. I think I might start doing this as soon as we get the crusher. So I'm going to get rid of the paintball draining system, and we'll just use this to get our abstruse waste, and then we'll use the crusher to crush these down and get our magenta. Our current system, we throw these into crushing wheels, and then we get a chance of all these different ones that we then have to drain, and that gets us not only the magenta but also the abstruse waste. That's a pain. These keep getting plugged. It's a big system. There's a lot of errors that can happen. Once we get the crusher, we can just crush them straight into magenta and turn those straight into these bad boys, the chromatic compound. And along the same lines, we can use these in the reaction chamber to get our abstruse waste. So we don't need to do the crushing wheel setup with these drains anymore. We'll get rid of all that and replace them with a reaction chamber and a crusher, and that's it. That will be nice. So I just need to get to the crusher and we'll be there, but we're almost there. We're getting close. All right. So we are to that point already where we're about to get the shiny new mechanism for this chapter, which basically means we've done everything else, and then all we have left is to get the mechanism and the machine. The casing in this, there will be another step after we get the mechanism. So let's go ahead and I'll run you through this right quick. It's a little different than what I've done before. I just kind of cleaned it up a little. I put the controller access point on top, and then I just pretty pipe down into these. The gem, so what's in here is, as you can see at the top there's an ether gem in that one, and the energized alloy ingot in that one. We set those up on autocrafts, so let's go take a look at those. One of them is in this sweet new reaction chamber, which is making our life so much easier already with just the Fluix crystal and the nourished coke. So these energized alloy ingots are being made in here. I upgraded the ender gate so we don't have power issues anymore. This allows enough throughput. As you can see, 2 million FE per tick is plenty now. The other gates were limiting our power, so it's just a little slower. And then the gems are over here in this guy. We need to upgrade this too, but and they're just on an autocraft as well. And upstairs, I put them in a ME requester, so it just always keeps 64 of each. I can up this, I don't know, we'll see. And then I just store them over here in my wall of awesomeness. And why aren't you, actually these should be getting made, why aren't they? Let's go have a look at that. Oh, it's because those are being made right now, so it's locked. Something's not right here. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, it's just a lot going on. They're not super fast, so It takes time to catch up. We need to upgrade the speed on basically everything. That's coming. All right, so back over here. Both of these are on autocraft, so they should keep 64 in stock. And then, of course, when it pulls from here using pretty pipes, it'll keep 64 in each deployer. The one thing I haven't done yet is set up the frog port. So let's do that real quick. There it is. That took forever. Okay. Anyway, all right. So now this will keep 64 in stock. We're not going to do a downgrade here. We're just going to let her rip. Well, maybe I will, actually. So this will get a downgrade. I have slowly been removing the downgrades to get more and more of these lower mechanisms, which is kind of backfired because now everything is just in go, 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 go mode. Our biggest roadblock currently still, or hurdle, or whatever, the slowest thing still is these things right here. These are still really hindering us. They just take forever. I cannot wait until I get Mekanism and I can make these so much faster. We'll get there. We're almost there. All right, so now we just need to throw a funnel on here. And why are you incomplete? Weird. Did I do that wrong? What did I forget here? Oh, I did it backwards. Oh, crap. Okay. Okay. Let's see if we can't. Boom. There it is. Okay. Kind of messed that one up. That one was a little anticlimactic because I had that order backwards, but we got there in the end. So that's what she looks like. Yep. Yep. It's very roundish shaped. So, as tradition, throw her in there and put this back in there and just let her rip. We should get 64 of these in no time. All right, well, let's grab. We need 8 to make the machine. All right, let's see what this machine's all about. So the casing is this. That's normal. Stripped log. What is this ender fragment? So the ender star is using a soul binder with a normal nether star or ender crafting an enderman build soul vial. So that's going to be hard to automate. Well, both of these are going to be hard to automate because look at that. Just look at that. That's ridiculous. Okay, so we do have these guys over here that I've just been cranking out crafting tables with because they take so stinking long. I have ender and another star. It takes 60 seconds. Oh boy. I think we'll have 4 stacks of I have enders. Well, I'm just going to sit here and wait on the first one. But thanks to movie magic, you don't have to. So there's the ender star. And now we just need, oh, thankfully we can break that into 9. We can get 9 per. Let's come over here, grab some stripped logs. Toss you down there. Put you up there. It's not going to be the easiest to automate, but thankfully we shouldn't have to automate too much. So that's okay. I'm going to let these guys roll. Yeah. This will just get me a stack. And then we'll have tons. I don't know what else they're used for. Let's have a look real quick. Ooh. Pinium core stuff. Okay. Staff of traveling. Oh, we definitely want that. I've been meaning to look into that. Okay, pin that. We're going to use that right away. The very next star goes for that. Yes, please. Whoa, almost died there. Okay, that's cool. Makes it quicker to go between our levels. Yep. Okay, cool. All right, wait. Pay attention here. Okay, we have the portable casing. Now we can make, this thing's pretty sweet looking. All right, there it is. Look at that. This is one of the cooler ones. It's not only see-through, but it's just kind of like Lincoln Log-esque. I may have just dated myself there, but that's okay. What is it called? It is called a portable machine. It looks more like a log with some, I don't know. Anyways, I'm not even going to begin because I have no idea. But that completes this chapter. That one was actually really straightforward. I enjoyed that chapter just because after some of the others, it's nice to have just kind of a straightforward chapter. And trapping the wither and making wither gas, or ether gas, I mean, is actually always kind of cool and it's fun. And I'm really glad that we put him in the witherproof box because I already tested its usefulness. I was upgrading the power generators down in the basement, and I did them both at the same time like a dummy, and we ran out of power. And since we ran out of power, the stasis chamber wasn't holding him in stasis anymore. So he was roaming free inside that box for a minute. He threw a few bombs, but it did nothing. I heard the explosions. I'm getting sidetracked here, I know, but I heard the explosions and I heard him going a little wild. He's over in the corner now instead of being right over centered, but it doesn't matter because he's still, oh, he might actually die now, which, I should upgrade these. So these add-ons will actually increase how quickly he gets healed back up. So I should look into that. I'm glad I came back over here. We are still producing ether gas, but he may die real soon. So that's a problem for another episode. Okay. Yeah. All right. And so as the sun begins to rise on yet another day here on the wonderful world of Create to Mekanism, we wrap up this episode. I did add 2 more lanterns, so thank you to whoever you are. I greatly appreciate it. Once again, you subscribing means a lot to me in this wonderfully fun adventure that I'm having. I appreciate all the support that everybody's provided and all the fun that it has provided me. So, going forward, this, like I said, this was a quick episode, and I think we're going to be getting into more complexity, but I just looking behind me, even though I kind of enjoy the craziness of my lawn base I got going here, it's got to end. So now that we are progressing into the electric age, now that we have got to Mekanism, I think that's my cue to begin actually wrapping something cool around all of this chaos. So I'm going to give us some buildings to work out of. I don't quite yet know exactly what I want to build. I have a pretty good idea, and it's definitely not going to take over the whole base because I want the tree to still stand out. Of course, it's ginormous, so it's going to be hard to make anything bigger than that. And I don't want to completely get rid of everything we've done here. I want to mostly leave everything alone and probably just turn off these lines as we don't use them anymore. I don't know, we'll see. We'll play with it as we get there, but just to let you know, a lot's going to be changing soon. So if you've made it to this point and you've come all the way to the end, I appreciate it. But please do stay tuned because this lawn base will be no more. I'm sick of it. I'm sure you're sick of it. It's not the funnest to look at, and if you like automation, that's probably the only reason you're here. But of course, everybody likes to see cool builds. This is Minecraft after all, so let's do something cool with this base and stop pretending like we don't know how to build. Okay, that's not pretending. I don't know how to build. I mean, I do know how to build. Everybody knows how to build. You just put blocks down, right? But we're going to make something cool. It'll be fun and interesting, and it'll look a hell of a lot better than this. So, anywho, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next episode. Love you, bye.